We are live, and it's been a while since we've been live, and it's great to be back. There's a lot to talk about. Few disclaimers: there will be a lot of internet issues, so there will be a lot of power cuts. So we'll keep coming and going. So just stick with us.
Yeah.
It's great to be here. A lot of you guys, some of you guys, have already joined us. A lot of you guys have already started conversations, which is great. And yeah, we will talk about a couple of things. Hey Srikanth, hi Cricket with Kaustubh, hi Neer, Bhayani, Nightbot. Yeah, we are late. But we're not that much late, and we are late because of internet. Hey Advait.
Hey,
you
what's
got
up?
spelling right.
Nice. Well done
Very
to you.
nice. But yeah, we will talk about a couple of things. We will talk about the 10 rules.
That BCCI is famously laid out.
Yeah, we will talk about that. We'll discuss and we'll talk about what we think of it and all of that. Master Black talent, timing, performance. Our one and only KL Rao. Very nice. Yeah, so there's
Hi, Paras. What's up?
Neerav. Hey, hi. Are you new to our live? Some of you
Yes.
guys might have been new. We did a whole live in the Bangladesh series, India versus Bangladesh, the test series, the first test match. And then we covered the entire Border Gavaskar trophy. And now we are here. We will try to do this every Sunday.
Yeah.
So every Sunday, 11 a.m., we'll try to do a live. Hopefully. Let's see how that goes. We decided this few minutes before this live started. So, hi, Sai. Suddenly, Shreyas gets a go. It's not sudden.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it. Hi, Srikanth. Long time. Someone said long time no see. I don't know
Yeah,
who that
cricket
was.
with Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Kaustubh.
cricket with Mr. Kaustubh.
Which is why
yes.
we'll try coming live every Sunday.
Yes. Hi,
So-
Pranav. It's great to be here. If you guys are joining us for the first time, we have multiple segments. It's not just us talking to each other so that it doesn't get boring and monotonous. We have multiple segments. We usually do a match recap and stuff. But today, we have something new. We will talk about the BCCI rules, the 10 rules, what we think of it. We'll talk about it from the player's perspective, and then we'll talk about it from the management perspective, because there's a reason the management laid out these rules in the first place. Hi Paras, hi Vamsi Krishnan. Great to see you guys here. And then we will talk about the Champions Trophy squad, the top order, middle order, all-rounders, wicket keepers, spin bowlers, and all-rounders, and the fast bowlers.
Yeah.
And yeah, what we think of that. There was an interesting opinion where one of you said that the Champions Trophy squad looks mid, which is very, very interesting because we have a difference in opinion, but we always enjoy our difference in opinion. We will wait for a little more, just because,
It's early and we're going live after a while.
yeah. So we'll
Want
have
the
more
audience
people
to come
joining
in.
us. If you guys are here and if you guys like this, can you like the stream? Liking stream always helps us, pushes the stream out to a little more people.
Also, get your friends, tell them to join and
Hi
we'll chill.
Vikas. Hi, good morning. Oh yeah, good morning to all of
Good
you.
morning indeed.
Star edits. Vikas, Master Black.
And also, we will take your questions. We have a separate segment for that as well.
Oh yeah, we have a
So,
segment where we take your questions. So
do not worry.
yeah, do not worry. Until then, you guys can talk amongst yourselves and listen to us. And then we have From the Stands, where we take questions from you guys. Sai, Raghuvesh, do you guys feel neck sprain? Of Kohli. Hi Yogesh. Interestingly, when Virat Kohli was supposed to play that county stint couple of years ago, he had the same reason to miss out on the county stint, and that is neck sprain. So we'll never know.
Skill
shot
shot
gamer. Everything is messed up with this team. Interesting. A lot of it. Thanks, Mr. Kaustubh. Again, if those of you guys are joining us for the first time, like our stream, will always help us push the stream out to a lot more people.
And subscribe also if
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't already.
Subscribe.
So yeah.
Nitish Kumar Reddy should have been in instead of Sundar, because what if Hardik Pandya gets injured like in 2023? We don't have another medium pace all rounder. Yeah, very interesting opinions. It was something that we discussed too. We will get into that. We have a whole breakdown of the squad itself. Good morning. Hey Dhruv, good morning. Indeed. It's great to see you here. Again, two disclaimers. One, we will have a lot of internet issues, so stick with us. Don't go away. I mean, if you do go away, it's very understandable. But
Karnataka won the Vijay Hazare Trophy. That's
yes,
right.
5 out of 5. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll bring this Karun Nair, Mayank Agrawal stuff up.
Yeah.
Until yesterday, every time Karnataka won the Vijay Hazare Trophy, Karun Nair and Mayank Agrawal were in the squad.
Yeah.
But in the 2024 Maharaja Cup, which is like the KPL, like the IPL of Karnataka, it was Karun Nair's team versus Mayank Agrawal's team. But in that, Karun Nair's team won the finals. And yesterday, for the first time, where Karun Nair and Mayank Agrawal are in the Vijay Hazare Trophy finals, they're competing against each other. And Mayank Agrawal wins the trophy. And yeah, it was just very wholesome.
Everything comes around in cricket.
Yeah. GG era is greater threat than Chappell era. I don't know if you guys know this. Do you guys remember when Sachin Tendulkar was the captain of the Indian team and Kapil Dev was the coach? There was a lot of match fixing scandal going on then. So if anything, that was the worst. But if you guys don't know, look it up. It was the most disastrous time for the Indian team. Sachin being the captain, but not the best captain, according to a lot of people. And then Kapil Dev, the coach, saying a lot of things in the press conference. It was a whole disaster. But right, Runil D is your comment.
Okay, how many people are in?
No, that's fine.
Not bad.
Do you want to start? We can start.
We can start probably. Do you guys know if anyone else is going to join? Also, let us know if there are any issues, which I don't think is the case.
Don't let us know.
Ritesh Kumar, hello, what's up?
I can't fix it. Ritesh, Kapil Dev as coach, never knew this. Yeah, he was the coach or the manager or something like that. And Sachin was the captain.
Stark edits.
Yeah, very
India never lost a WTC final under GG.
Because yeah, that's true. Vikas, what are your thoughts? Educational backgrounds. Wow.
Damn. Go to our website, subscribe to our email newsletter. You will know what our educational background is. And you'll also know a lot of behind the scenes and all of that. So yeah, probably the links in the description to subscribe to the newsletter.
Nilanj Singh. Yo, what's up?
Nothing
Srikanth,
much.
you have very strong opinions about the squad, don't you? Very interesting. Wasn't the coach for sure. He was something of the Indian team. You know, before we start, let's see. Kapil Dev.
Match fixing.
He was something. He was something of the Indian team. Yeah, see, Kapil Dev was appointed coach of the national cricket team in 1999, succeeding Anshuman Gaikwad. His appointment coincided with the second term captaincy of Tendulkar. Voice not coming. Refresh.
Yeah, refresh.
Yeah, he was something about that. But yeah, anyway, that's been our introduction. If you guys are joining us for the first time, just like our stream will always help us. Let's get into it. So we have the BCCI rules that a lot of people are talking about, and let's go over the rules.
Cool. So there's 10 rules that have been laid down by the BCCI. I'll be covering the first 5. Arshan will be covering the next 5. And there's a lot of opinions flying out around this, about this. We'll get into that as well, player perspectives, management perspective. But to go over the first 5 rules, compulsory domestic participation. So basically all the players who are in and around the Indian team, Aswin has pushed my hand away. In and around the Indian team, they will have to play Vijay Hazare, they'll have to play the Ranji Trophy, the Syed Mushtaq Ali, depending on which formats they are also going to be playing in the Indian team for. Yes. So that's the first thing. Yeah. Apart from that, there's guidelines around traveling.
Kumari, 1 second. Hey Kumari, and we have a whole segment where we take questions from you guys, so ask us then. Watch out for that. It's in the end. But yeah, just letting you know.
Yeah, we'll just go through all of these segments as soon as we can, and then we'll interact with you all, take your questions. So yeah, coming back to the second rule, it's around traveling with the team, and basically BCCI wants all the players to not travel individually. They want the team to travel together, be it in the team bus or the flights or whatever it is. That's the second thing. And then the third one is very interesting. It's around excess baggage limit for players. Now, I don't necessarily want to get into the specifications of these rules or like the weight limits, but basically I think this rule is coming because some players are misusing BCCI's money, so to speak, and taking a lot of baggage. Yeah, not like BCCI lacks the money or the players for that matter, but I think this was just more of a sanity check kind of rule so that players don't go overboard.
Because there are a lot of people carrying PlayStations, coffee machines and all of that.
Yeah, that. Cool. Fourth on the list, restrictions on individual staff. A lot of reports of players having their personal trainers, personal chefs on tour. Personal stylists on tour, managers, a lot of people involved. So it's like an entire entourage of people going, which the BCCI was not okay with, it seems like, causing some kind of distraction to the players, possibly. So that's one of the rules. And the last one is sending players' bags separately to the center of excellence.
Which is such a specific rule, which means something must have happened for this rule to come up in the first place.
Yeah, it's probably around maybe them only being allowed to send kit bags and nothing else. Yeah. Maybe they were misusing that as well. A lot of speculation here as well. But yeah, those are the 5 that I have covered.
Yeah, the next 5 rules are very like school like boarding school types.
Yeah.
But anyway, leaving practice early sessions, you can't leave practice sessions early. If you're done with batting, you can't just go home, which is a very school team rule kind of thing. No personal shoots during series. Yeah, you can't have personal sponsor ads or personal any endorsement ads during a particular series. You can do it between series and all of that, but while the series is going on, you're not allowed to do that. There is a family travel policy where one of the rule is if it's a 45-day tour, your family can only be with you for 2 weeks, which we will get into.
Yeah.
Participation in BCCI shoots is compulsory. If it's an Indian team shoot during the series, you have to participate in. Players not allowed to leave early if the match ends early of the series. Not sure if the series, but if the match ends early, like if it's a 5-day test match, but if it ends within 3 days, you can't just leave the team to be with your family or to leave the country or whatever. You have to be with the team. So these are the 5 rules. Let's talk about perspectives. Now from the player's perspective. Something Rohit Sharma did say yesterday was since he became an all-format player, it's just become very, very difficult for him to participate in domestic cricket because they just don't get a break. The only break that they might get is after the IPL, but there is no first-class cricket or any domestic cricket after the IPL. So to mandate domestic cricket, again, it becomes very subjective because if you're an all-format player like Yashasvi Jaiswal will be, Virat Kohli was, Rohit Sharma was, Jasprit Bumrah is, Jadeja, for example, or even Akshar Patel, how much cricket can you play before you take a break? Like, why would you play Test cricket, ODI cricket, T20 cricket, and then go back play Ranji cricket, List A cricket? So I feel like I'm sure the selectors will talk to certain players and give them specifications because in the end, it is a job, but in the end, you are a human being and you will need rest. So that's something for the selectors to think about. But from the player's perspective, it's like, how much cricket can I play? If I'm performing, if I'm performing in Test cricket, why should I then go play domestic cricket? So I feel like there will need specifications on that. Rest all, I feel like, honestly, it makes sense for the players too. I don't know what all the fuzz was about, but I come to the family perspective and the family restriction rule. Where as a player, I don't see the problem with my family coming along with me in tours as long as I'm paying for it. If I'm paying for their flight, if I'm paying for their room, or if they're staying in the same room as me, I don't see the problem in that. I don't think family in itself will be a distraction. If anything, family being there will just motivate me to do better. Because especially players out of form, players not doing well, or players getting dropped, you're in such a hole. Even if you're in the Indian team and all of that, you've almost dug yourself a hole. And sometimes the only people who can take you out of that hole are your family. And them having restrictions just makes absolute no sense to me. And so that is something for the selection committee or for the management to actually think about.
Yeah.
The only thing is with all of these rules, there are exceptions. All of these rules end with unless permission granted from BCCI or the team management or the selectors. So that is a thing. But as a player, I wouldn't want restrictions on family. And I mean, my argument will be without asking you, I can just fly them around, put them in a different hotel. I can meet them whenever. So like, how does it matter to you? And that'll be my only argument in terms of family restrictions. Like, why do you care about where my family is if they are with me as long as I'm paying for it? But yeah, that's the player's perspective on things. This is BCCI's perspective.
Yeah, BCCI's perspective. So, a couple of things that I want to touch upon. Firstly, I think there might have been instances where certain players or certain superstars have sort of not followed team protocols or been away from the team. And there have also been reports of said groupism. Of course, all of this is speculation, but at the end of the day, it is a team sport. You are playing as a team. And so I think one thing that BCCI really wanted to do by establishing all of these rules is to look at the root cause of some of these results or some of the things going wrong in the management or there being rift. And I mean, even Aswin's retirement, we can talk about how it was probably caused by something in the dressing room. You never know. And so I think the first thing that BCCI could have done correctly was probably set these rules up. They don't necessarily mean it in a hard way because there are these exceptions or there are these clauses that say unless you take permission from the BCCI. So it's not like they have banned all of this. It's just that they want everything transparent. They want the players to know that they are representing India. It's a job at the end of the day. So, I mean, you have to make sure that in your working hours, at least you're doing things right. So that's one perspective. That's probably where the BCCI is coming from. And coming to the players and them playing domestic cricket, again, as Ashwin said, because of the multi formats and all of the cricket happening around the year, this will probably be for certain players when maybe they're out of form and they have to go back and then play domestic cricket instead of preferring probably separate practice or solo practice, whatever it is. That is one thing. What else? Let's see. Family thing, from BCCI's perspective, maybe there was a case or there might have been scenarios where people have called extended family, and then it just becomes a lot of people around the Indian dressing room, which is not required, especially with all of these leaks happening at the moment. And because of the BGT situation and all of that, that's probably where the BCCI could have been coming from, not wanting more people than are necessary for the players itself. Of course, there's also restrictions on sponsorship shoots and all, which I think is good because it means that the players don't have extra commitments and they can focus on just the cricket, at least during the tours. And this would also mean that people like the team managers and other people, like the player managers, will not necessarily get chances to be around the players, which I think should be beneficial, at least on tours. So yeah, I think that's the BCCI side of things. Obviously, it's not black and white. There's a lot of grays, there's a lot of exceptions, but yeah, this is what we think.
All right, let's get into the Champions Trophy squad. This is the squad right in front of you. It is a squad that a lot of people wanted, but a lot of people also disagree with. A lot of spinners and a lot of this and not Siraj and no Samson. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about, but for now, this is our squad. Let's go over the squad itself, shall we?
Cool. First thing, top order. It's on your screen as well. You have Jaiswal as the backup opener. The remaining three are pretty much what everyone expected. Of course, I know there's been word going on around Kohli and Rohit and whether or not they should have been picked in that Champions Trophy squad. But in ODIs, I don't think they've done anything wrong. Both of them had brilliant World Cups. And so there really is no criteria to drop them in this format. Test is obviously another ball game, but for white ball cricket, the ODI format is the only format they're playing anyways. Might as well play them. They might come good. I mean, that is the hope. They have all of the experience in the world. We've also exactly, yeah. And apart from that, Shubman Gill, there has been a little bit of debate between Gill and Jaiswal. Jaiswal will have to wait his chance because Gill hasn't put a foot wrong in white ball cricket. He averages around 58 in ODIs. So on what basis are you going to drop him? There has been some conversation around some domestic players probably coming into the squad who've been doing well in the Vijay Hazare in that opening slot, but I don't think it makes any sense. And this top order is extremely sorted.
Now, coming to the middle order, a lot of people talked about why not Karun Nair, like why is Karun Nair not there? He had a brilliant Vijay Hazare. Of course, like you can argue saying he is a man in form and you would want him in the squad. But so are KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. Both of them have been scoring runs. Shreyas Iyer this season, he's done exceptionally well as a captain. He's won everything there is to win except the Vijay Hazare trophy, of course. But he's also scored runs in the Vijay Hazare. And he had a brilliant 2023 World Cup. If not for getting dropped and if not for his contract being lost and whatever, all of that scandal, I feel like he was a scapegoat in that sense. If not for that, Shreyas Iyer would have been in the squad 100%. Of course, he has that short ball problems, which I'm hoping he's overcome it. But also, we are playing in Dubai. Apart from few matches in the IPL that happened in Dubai, which did have extra bounce, I think he should be sorted. And for all the hate people have towards KL Rahul, he's done very, very well in the middle order. Every time he's come under pressure, especially the first game in the World Cup against Australia, where we were 2 for 3 or whatever. He took the game through. He scored those 98, 99 runs. And of course, in the final, he played one sort of an innings where he gets a lot of hate for. But I mean, what are you going to do, dude? Like, if you are under pressure facing those bowlers, of course, he could have taken those chances. But if he did get out, then the argument would have been, why did he just take the chance? So there's always, like, two sides of the coin. KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer have been exceptional. And for Karun Nair to come in, we made a whole video on this. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out. But a lot of these guys will have to be injured because why would you drop a player who has been doing well for the Indian team why will you drop him and take someone who's doing well in a list A tournament, only one season? Of course, he's had an entire good season. Karun Nair has done well in SMAT, in Vijay Hazare and the KPL, the Maharaja Cup. But again, like, why would you drop a player who's performing well for the Indian team? And that's the argument. Let's talk about wicket keepers. Now, there's a lot of debate on the wicket keepers and why Sanju Samson was dropped and why is Rishabh Pant taken in instead of KL Rahul. Now, let's talk about this. Samson wasn't in the Kerala squad for the Vijay Hazare Trophy because according to KSC actually, Kerala Cricket Association, he didn't attend a compulsory camp that he was supposed to, saying that there was a player who was selected for the Kerala team who didn't attend that camp. Now, I don't know if that's because of injuries or not, but Samson wasn't injured, reportedly, and he didn't attend that camp, because of which in the final Vijay Hazare squad for the Kerala team, he wasn't picked. Now, does that warrant you not being picked for the national side is a debate on its own, but that would have been a reason the selectors used to drop Samson and pick someone like Rishabh Pant, because first of all, the brand surrounding Rishabh Pant, he's a left-handed wicketkeeper batter. He's done what he's done in the test format. Do we think he should be in the ODI squad? Absolutely not. But like at this point, what can you do? I feel like Sanju Samson, recent times, he's been a scapegoat. I mean, him being dropped before always made sense to us. But the last ODI he played, he scored 100 and then gets dropped. He scored multiple hundreds in the T20 format, opening for the Indian team. So him being picked as the backup opener just made sense. But if the selectors are going to make the excuse of he didn't play the Vijay Hazare, he didn't even make it to the Kerala squad, so why the India squad? I mean, if you're going to use that excuse, you can't really argue anything against that. So you had to pick KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant. Yeah, I feel like selectors selecting Rishabh Pant is just a X factor thing.
Yeah.
And does it make sense to us? No. But then can you do anything about it right now? Nothing.
Cool. So moving on to all-rounders and spinners. I think this is also fairly sorted. Maybe some questions raised on why Washi was picked is what I was seeing in the chat. And some debate generally around why Jadeja was also picked. We personally thought it would be either Jaddu or Aksar. So that's one thing. But yeah, apart from that, you have Hardik, who definitely was going to make it to the squad. There was some debate around Nitish Kumar Reddy getting picked. And I think at the end of the day, it's come down to the conditions and how the Indian selection committee has thought that it'll be more aided towards spinners, which is why you see all of these spin bowling all-rounders. And you also have Kuldeep, who will probably play every game as a specialist spinner. So nothing much to add there. Honestly, the only surprise really was Nitish Kumar Reddy. Maybe one thing that I would have liked India to do is pick another specialist spinner if they know that the conditions are going to be very spin friendly. Might as well have gone with two specialist spinners in the squad. Having said that, Chahal was never going to make that squad. It was going to be a toss-up between Bishnoi and Varun Chakravarti. We've also covered that in a recent video. But yeah, I think that's the only sort of thing where I would possibly disagree with this squad selection. Apart from that, obviously, because of how India has been batting and the reliance on the middle and lower middle order. Also, the fact that some of these batters like Aksar and Washi are lefties, they can probably come into the top order in certain situations as well. And so because of that, I think this seems like an extremely well-rounded spinning and all-rounders lineup. Yeah. Cool. Next thing, fast bowlers. Just one surprise here, and that's Arshdeep getting picked, Siraj getting dropped. Let's get into this, right? So Siraj did not have the best 2023 World Cup. He was India's 5th best bowler, which means he was almost one of India's poorest bowlers in terms of performance in that World Cup itself. Of course, a lot of things did not go his way. Even in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, it just seems like Siraj has been extremely overworked. We also had a stat where he's bowled the most number of overs across international cricket since 2023 for India. Considering that and considering the fact that Siraj has been blowing kind of hot and cold, I can see why the selectors might have decided to drop him. Also, the fact that Arshdeep is the highest wicket taker in the Vijay Hazare Trophy itself.
And has been performing for the
Indian team. T20s, he's already almost on top of the list of wicket takers for India. So I think Arshdeep's selection is perfectly warranted. He's done nothing wrong. In fact, he's exceeded probably the expectations of a lot of people. He's also left-arm seamer. That's also going to play in his hands. And because Shami is coming back, there was no way that you could drop Shami for Arshdeep just because of what Shami's done in the last couple of years. And so, unfortunately, I think Siraj misses out. But I think this might also be a good break for him to just take some time off and probably work on a couple of things and come back stronger for the Indian team.
Right, let's get into from the stands and let's take questions from you guys. I saw a statement of how half of the Indian team should be dropped for not playing domestic cricket, which is not true because players who played for except for all the players who played in the BGT, everyone on this list either played SMAT or the Vijay Hazare or SMAT and the Vijay Hazare. So everyone's played some form of cricket, and everyone who's been selected, they have either played, like I said, Syed Mustaq Ali or the Vijay Hazare Trophy, or have been playing for the Indian team in the test format in Australia. So for those of you guys who think these guys haven't been playing domestic cricket, they've been toiling hard for the last couple of months. Right, let's take questions from you guys. Ritesh, due to the performance of Sundar... Oh, right. When you have bowlers like Ravi Bishnoi and Varun, why pick Sundar? Pranav Nair asks.
Again, so as we just covered, it's probably the batting cushion that these guys provide and the flexibility that they'll provide because they can come at number 4, at number 5 to bat in pressure situations as well. Right. I think honestly that's the only thing. But personally, I would have preferred them going with one extra spinner.
This sometimes happens where Praatibh's camera is switched off. Can Harshdeep bowl 10 overs? Yeah, of course he can.
Yeah, Harshdeep, there was some concern around his fitness, which was why they were keeping him out of red ball. But I mean, he's had county stints. He bowled well in the Duleep Trophy. He can bowl those overs. Yeah.
Punt is selected because he's a lefty and a middle order batsman. On the other hand, Sanju is an opener and a top 3 fix. There's only one place at number 5 where Punt would be good. He has played games against Australia, etc., etc. I mean, Sanju Samson is an opener now.
Yeah. Sanju's, I mean, the South
He's
Africa innings, top order, top middle. Yeah. I think Sanju will do okay. He can even come in as a finisher if they don't want to use him at the top. So
true. Who do you think will be starting, KL or Pant? I hope it is KL Rahul.
Should be KL, yeah. Be very surprising if Pant starts.
Advait, what is our strategy on slow pitches? Using a lot of spinning all-rounders with Hardik Pandya is the strategy. Yeah. Shrikant, look with how injury-prone is the bowling lineup. Dropping Siraj is a bad decision. I don't necessarily think it's a bad decision. I feel like Bumrah is subjective to selection as in his injury anyway. So that is a thing. Shami's coming back and you're hoping that he's fit. Yeah. If he's played the Ranji Trophy, he's played Smart, now he's playing, I mean, he's finished playing Vijay Hazare and he hasn't gotten injured. You can't select players based off on, if he does get injured, we need Siraj. I feel like these 3 bowlers are fit. If they're fit to play, you'd rather pick these 3 bowlers.
Plus, KDP. If any of them get injured, you can always bring in a replacement. So
KDP. Nowadays onwards, 2017 wobble seam became lethal weapon for fast bowlers, which trouble the batsman. Bowlers like Saudi, who's natural outswinger, he has the lethal wobble seam, which is very true.
That is true, yeah.
Shreyas. Shreyas says, Shreyas Iyer failed in World Cup on difficult pitches. In the final in Chennai match was Australia, in Lucknow versus England. Yeah, but he also scored in the rest of the matches.
Yeah, so it's 2 things, right? One is being able to bat on difficult pitches. One is being able to bat in pressure situations. Yeah. And in that semi-final, I mean, like India scored 360, 370 and even that almost was not enough. Yeah. We got there because Shreyas Iyer was able to come in and belt New Zealand. So,
Kef, do you think all 3 pacers will play or will they only play 2 pacers from Bumrah, Shami and Harshdeep? 2?
Should be 2. Dubai occasionally
has that
extra bounce and little bit of movement up front. So depending on the conditions, but mostly spinner friendly.
What changes are to be brought in the mindset of players during the important knockout match is very, very good question actually, Ritesh, Vikram. I think the only thing that should change is asking players not to change their game because I feel like in knockout situations, we changed quite a few things. Example in the World Cup final where Shami started with the new ball and Siraj didn't. Or just things that you shouldn't have done. I mean, you were successful for a reason to reach the final, and players should just continue to do what they did in the group stage. Now, that's easier said than done, but that's also why they're playing for the Indian cricket team, and they have the best staff and management out there, and they should just continue talking to the players. And in knockout games, we find a way to go into a shell, which I don't think the Indian team should do. Calky bros. We're forgetting Shreyas' contribution in India versus SA. It was so difficult that Maharaj did not concede a boundary in his 10 overs. Yeah, true. Dhruv, controversial opinion, but GG is doing a lot of things he's criticized Dhoni of, and I kind of get why MSD preferred Virat ahead of GG though.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of general disagreement around how Gigi's been functioning. Things he said and now he's doing the complete opposite. Some would call him a hypocrite. But
Ayush Ranjan says Shivam Dube was playing in the last 2-day series and he was even bowling in the power play. Why has he disappeared even from the T20 circuit? Because honestly, it's just not good enough when you now compare him to someone like a Hardik Pandya or Nitish Kumar Reddy. Like, why have a Shivam Dube when the other 2 are just more consistent?
And just to further expand on that a little bit, like Shivam Dube's whole USP was that he could come in the middle overs and attack the spinners, but he too was found out by the short ball.
Yes.
And so you don't want to carry a lot of players who have the same set of weaknesses at least, because even Shreyas we know is a little susceptible to the short ball, and if you're going to get both players out in the same fashion, it's going to be an issue.
Vibhakar, Gill given vice captaincy over Bumrah. We have a short memory span because before the Australia tour, there was, I think it was against Sri Lanka where Gill was the vice captain. I don't know if Bumrah was playing, but then there were talks about Gill being the vice captain and in the white ball setup at least, which we made a whole video about, which we disagreed with. But does it come as a surprise that he's the vice captain in Champions Trophy? No. Another reason could be because Bumrah is not yet confirmed to be in Champions Trophy. So he may be given the vice captaincy. But Gill being given the vice captaincy in itself isn't a big of a surprise. Bro, Dubai pitch would have different roof. It has only 6 hours of sunlight, so Dubai pitches are much fresher than Abu Dhabi and other used stadiums, so that's why it becomes fast bowler friendly in ILT20 also. Oh, very interesting.
Right.
I did not know
But
that.
the thing also, so dew factor will come into the
dew
picture.
factor is a big thing.
And it's 50 overs cricket, so it's going to go on from day to night. So those things will also matter.
Do you think Harshdeep should increase his pace 10 kilometers per hour to sustain the longer format?
If it was that easy, then every bowler would have done it.
Nilanj could have taken someone like Ritu because he has performed in that IPL in Dubai. Yeah, you can't take someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad because he just hasn't performed in Vijay Hazare. He scored that 100 and then absolutely nothing. He had a disastrous Ranji Trophy. Didn't do anything in Dilip Trophy. He hasn't really done anything in recent times. Like
Plus, where do you play him? Even if he's done everything, that top order is packed.
I mean, Karun Nair has an average of 300 odd after the Vijay Hazare. He's not being picked. Why would you pick Ruturaj Gaikwad? Because he's done something in the IPL. That way, a lot of people would have made debuts for the Indian team. Between Akshar and Washi, who will make in the playing 11? Because Jadeja will be there by default. Very interesting. In the Sri Lankan series, Jadeja was not there. Akshar Patel was picked over him. I don't think both of them will play.
Jaddu and Akshar. Yeah, that would be a little counterproductive. You'd rather play one left arm spinner, one off spinner.
Or like a left arm Chinaman.
Yeah, which the Chinaman has to play. Kuldeep has to play every game.
Austin. Why? Why to what? Kef Khan. Answer that. No Siraj because no Sri Lanka. But this, what's interesting is not Mohammad Siraj, is Washington Sundar being in the squad. I'd want to see where he bats if he's picked. Because what are the conditions like in UAE? So we are only okay, wait, let me finish this thought. Because Gautam Gambhir likes Washington Sundar and because he was brought back, the second Gambhir was the coach. It'll just be interesting to see how far
he gets
Gautam
back.
Gambhir, The conditions, so like someone said already in ILT20, the conditions in Dubai do help the fast bowlers. There is a lot of bounce, but evidently the Indian selectors at least think that the pitch will also become slow and help the spinners. It
is tough to score runs, like even the ODI average scores and all of that. We've also covered that, I think, in a previous video. It's not particularly high. So,
Wazir, Kuldeep, Akshar, Jaddu are left arm spinners. Is that why Wash is in this squad? One of the reasons. He also bats. And that's another reason. Runil, Gigi said going to pick players from ODI from Vijay Hazare, but he didn't pick any players from Vijay Hazare. But now he is pushing Indian players to play local matches. Okay, wait. He didn't say he'll pick players from Vijay Hazare. Gambhir, okay, I'll back Gambhir on this. He said playing domestic cricket is important. And to be selected, you have to play domestic cricket. But you're not going to drop players from the Indian team who have performed well if they don't play domestic cricket. But I say this, everyone in this squad has played some form of cricket in the last 2 months. If not for the test matches in Australia, rest they've played Vijay Hazare or the Syed Mustaq Ali. So they have played domestic cricket. So if anything, they have been picked because of domestic cricket. Harshdeep Singh is the highest wicket taker in Vijay Hazare. So he has been picked. I mean, if we look at the batters only, it doesn't make sense. If you look at the Vijay Hazare's batting stats, the top 5 or top 4 all have an average of more than 100. We can't select all of them.
Correct.
And you can't draw players who perform for the Indian team. So what can you do? Ayush, what is the obsession of Indian middle order batsmen being troubled by the short ball? First it was Raina, now Shreyas and Dubey.
It comes down to multiple things, right? The First and foremost thing is that they're batting in the middle. They're never exposed to the new ball. They've played most of their cricket growing up on pitches in India, and even if pitches today are true, no one's really using short ball tactics as much. The ball gets older, so it's tougher to ball bouncers and get a good result. And so these guys are probably not playing as many short balls.
Like, interestingly, these guys are from Bombay and UP who have like such good batting pitches. How much are you practicing short balls? Vibhakar, giving Gill the vice captaincy means Jaiswal won't make into the 11 even if Gill fails. Yeah, true. I mean, why hope for Gill to fail? All stadiums are sand based in UAE, so it has solid drainage. Maybe dew would be not much troubling factor, and also that's not true because I mean I don't know if that's not true now, but when we played the IPL in Dubai, toss mattered a lot because of the dew conditions. Not dew conditions, because
like
of
dew coming in the night under lights. Yeah.
Albert, will Harshit be picked into the Champions Trophy squad?
If Bumrah's,
I hope not.
No. It makes no sense because Bumrah is a proper frontline bowler. He's the spearhead of the attack. You'll pick a bowler for a bowler. You won't pick Harshit. Yeah.
If Harshit Rana makes it into the Champions Trophy squad instead of Bumrah, God bless.
I'd rather have Siraj come in then.
Yeah. Kef, will Hardik bowl 10 overs? And Vijay Hazare, he did open the bowling. I don't know if he did bowl 10 overs consistently.
No, he didn't. Usually he just bowls 6, 8
I don't
overs.
blame him. I mean, if for someone who might just get injured. Austin, what a name. Is Harshit Rana better than Mohammad Siraj? No. And Rohit feels Siraj inefficient. What's your opinion? Yeah, that we agree with that. Is he as efficient as he is with the new ball? No. But then you could say that about any fast bowler. But is he as efficient with the old ball as his counterparts? No. Again, that's a no. He hasn't been impressive with the new ball as such. We saw that in the test format too, but that's a whole other format. But we also saw that in the World Cup, especially in the World Cup final when Siraj wasn't given the new ball, he was just out of the game automatically.
11 matches, just 14 wickets.
Yeah.
Decent, but yeah.
Dhruv, what do you think? Why do you think this retirement thing starts always for every single 35 plus player who doesn't perform for a specific period, even though many a time they have a lean patch only? Not about VK and Rohit Sharma.
The simplest answer is that it's all based on historic data. There have been very few players beyond the age of 35 who've been able to accomplish much. It's usually just really standout players like a Sachin or a Jack Callis who had one final prime. Rahul Dravid. And so that rule doesn't apply to everyone. And so you're better off thinking about the future of sides and getting rid of these players who are showing signs of weaknesses and being out of form consistently.
True. We'll take a couple of questions before we end this. This has been our analysis of the Champions Trophy so far. If you guys are joining us or if you guys are here, hit that like button just because it'll just push out to more people. More action. Should Rocco open in Champions Trophy? No. Srikanth. He has been leading wicket taker since 2022. I believe the top of the chart. So Siraj being ineffective is stupid talk. It's not stupid at all. I mean, you can be highest wicket taker being ineffective. See, all right. Specifications, right? You look at stats and then you look at things that play out. Siraj would have been the highest wicket taker, taking nothing away from him. Is he as ineffective as he is with... Is he as effective as he is with the new ball? Old ball, whatever. Yeah. He is not effective with the old ball. And we have evidence to prove it. We saw that the entire World Cup. We saw that in the test matches. It's not stupid talk. It's actually factual. Yeah. And I back Rohit Sharma with this. I don't back Rohit Sharma in a lot of decisions that he makes. But
I think you guys are failing to realize that since 2022 now is a 3-year span that you're looking at for highest wickets, where 2022-23 Siraj was in good form. He was able to get wickets. But since, at least if you look at the last year, like this entire home test series and the away test series, and we barely played ODI cricket in the year, and even in that Sri Lanka series, he was not getting much with the new ball as well. And this is the thing, right? When he's not able to swing the ball, when he's hit for a few boundaries, it feels like he does not have a plan B. Or it's also the case that maybe based on data, because of how good Bumrah is, teams just target Siraj more to get those runs, and he's not currently having any answers for that. It's that.
KDP. But bro, dew comes in most nights. Match starts at 1 p.m. Dubai time, so maybe last 10 overs of batting second can have the dew factor. True, exactly. And last 10 overs can change a lot of things. You can score 100 runs, 150 runs, or even 80. So even if it's only in the last 10 or 20 overs, it's still a
tougher
very,
for the bowlers.
Ayush Ranjan, I personally think if the top order collapses, management should push IF further back down the order so he ain't exposed to the new ball. And sent someone like Aksar or Jaddu up the order. They have tried and tested this a couple of times in the Sri Lankan tour. I don't know if you push down a number 4. But then if you want to break the rhythm by pushing up a left-handed batsman, yeah, fair,
That's
sense.
different, yeah. But
Pranav, is KL a better opener than Gill?
in ODIs?
I mean,
Probably not, because Gill will you can probably get the maximum out of Gill against that new ball, because he just has to time the ball, and he's a very timey hand-eye player.
Doesn't need to force it in.
Yeah.
All right, this has been our live. Good Lord, it's been a while. We will try to do this every Sunday morning and talk about various things that happens during the week or within the Indian team. I mean, the test match, the T20 series starts in 3 days time, 22nd of Jan. So watch out for that. Surya Kumar Yadav being the captain. Mohammad Shami back into the squad, so it'll be very, very interesting to see how Shami... See, the thing is, you don't really look at his stats. If he gives 18 4 overs, it's fine. As long as he can bowl 4 overs in every match, and that's what the Indian team wants. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a while since we have done this. We will try doing this every Sunday, like I said, every week, once a week, so that we talk to you guys, keep us engaged. We have a video coming up on Tuesday about...
Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah.
Shikhar Dhawan.
We have a whole storyline of Shikhar Dhawan, how he started off and why he's not in the squad right now.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who miss him, watch out for that video.
And also a couple of things. Watch out for our Instagram stories and our community polls. We are looking at doing something different for next month. Some of you guys who might be interested in the technical side of things, we might start memberships. Something that we'll discuss with you all. Probably put out a Google form, see how many of you are interested. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I mean, the membership thing, of course, it's a money-grabbing scheme. We'll get money off it. But it'll also be worth it for you guys if you guys are interested. So yeah, like Praatibh said, we'll put out a form. A couple of things we have in mind. It's about things you can learn and stuff. So yeah, watch out for that. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't liked, share and subscribe, always do that. It'll always help us. We are closing in on
21K subscribers.
21K subscribers. You guys have been very, very helpful.
Very supportive.
Supporting us. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, we'll see you guys either next Sunday or next time, whenever that might be. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.